The final word.
The final word.
The final word.
So, last week we started with a debate.
The final word.
Me and Law clearly won with ease. It was over Ezekiel Elliott. And now we got the OC in the building.
You don't want none of this, guys. You don't want no parts of this.
Ah.
You don't want no parts of it.
Yeah, I do, bro.
The final word.
Man, y'all get in the building. Get in the building.
Yeah, y'all come on in, man. Y'all want to see a dead body? Y'all let me know if y'all want to see a dead body. But hey, listen. It's that time.
The final word
of the week. Cornerbacks. Cornerbacks. So, this is going to be interesting today. So, as y'all know, we always start
the final word.
The final word.
The final word.
With free agents. So we gonna start with that first.
The final word.
And then we go work on down to the draft.
The final word.
The
and free
final
agents.
word.
The final
I can't
word.
wait. J Tuck, what's your preliminary thoughts, my brother?
About this draft class, man. It's going to be interesting. Ain't as sexy as last year, but we definitely want to talk about it. That's what we talk about.
I actually definitely agree with you. It kind of got a little bit of a...
The final word.
I don't know if Big feel me on this, but it got a little bit of a...
Hey, as I said before, it's top heavy. So when those top guys go, that's when you're going to be suffering. I feel like you're going to be more experimental guys, more developmental guys. And I think just like what DMV was saying, once that first one gets taken, like maybe like the Devin Witherspoon, they also gonna start going, because I think the teams know that it's not maybe as great as well, so they're gonna try to scoop up all the good ones early.
Definitely agree. Which
it might be a good one for the Cowboys. Not for everybody.
It's still way too soon. It's still way too soon to have that analysis, in my opinion. No one saw Dayron Bland. No one saw Dayron Bland last year. A lot of people didn't have Tyreek Woolen as high as he was. So let these combines go through. Let's see what these guys can do. Open their hips, the speed, these sorts of things.
The final word.
In my opinion.
No, I'm with you.
The
so
final
basically,
word.
you hoping Will McClay can find that needle in the haystack again.
The final word.
He that good though. He really is.
That boy good.
That boy good. That boy good. You got that boy. You got that.
I think. I don't have it over here.
I know you saying hey we good, but let's look at our last few cornerback drafts. They ain't been that great.
I can't wait to get started. Let's go. I can't wait to hear this. I want to know exactly where you come from, dude. Let's go.
I just wanna run it up. Count a check or something. I've been really in the field, let up.
Yeah.
When I've been really in the field, let her rush, I love the feel. Lately, I just wanna run it up. Don't need no deals, I make the deal. Have to take it to.
And if it was up to me, if it was up to little old me to make a pick, it would probably go a little something like this.
They hated it.
And with the 17th pick of the 2020 Dallas Cowboys NFL Draft, the Dallas Cowboys select CeeDee Lamb.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
I will move down.
The smart thing would be to move down, but the Cowboys historically don't.
Boss could be a trade down here with Justin. We got to trade. We got to trade. We got to trade.
I said this is the place to move.
We were just sitting here talking Justin Fields.
I said it.
Oh my
This is
God!
the
To
place
the
to
Eagles.
move down.
Go hard, or go home. 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 Touchdown like the end zone. When the circle turn to my home, can't get me out of my zone. Go hard, or go home. Go.
I love Parsons as a rush defensive end. Right? If you draft him and you put him on the end, turn him into another DeMarcus Ware. Let him rush the quarterback, get upfield, and create damage to the other opposing offense.
We got the pick.
Man, here it is.
We got the pick.
Yeah, this gotta be Parsons. Like, Parsons the best player available.
Go home. Yeah, championship rings on my hands now. In my head, I'm top 10, yeah, that's hands down. You a squad, now you're looking man down. Funny how foes turn to friends now.
So the Cowboys just selected Jake Ferguson with pick 129. Hey, I'm good. I love the pick. I love the player. I know that a lot of people will say that this is probably a reach. This is about where I had Jake Ferguson. Really solid player from Wisconsin. He can do all of it. He can block. He can run routes. He can actually make people miss in the open field.
Have a race car like a target and call filling up. I need product. Treat the business like a playground. I might slide on you. Do me wrong, might slide on you. Do a backflip cause I'm mad rich. I'm the definition of what that is. Go hard, or go home. 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 Touchdown like the end zone.
Like an end zone.
When the circle turn to my home, can't get me out of my zone. Go hard, or go home. Go hard, or go home.
All right, let's go. All right, man. So I'm gonna start off with you today, OC. Cause see, you was talking about Zeke. You gonna be the last person to get your little Zeke hate in. So go. Get it out the way. Get it out the way.
Listen, this is not Zeke hate. This is Zeke factual. Zeke Elliott has had a tremendous career since he's been a Dallas Cowboy. He has had a trend toward a Hall of Fame career. This is no disrespect to Ezekiel Elliott. This is just a matter of fact. Every single running back has an expiration date. In other words, it's a day where they have peak performance and they reach a mountain, and since that time, they begin to go down. Ezekiel Elliott has not had devastating knee injuries, but he has had 2 significant knee injuries over the last 2 seasons. This has slowed down his productivity. He does not show the burst to accelerate and separate from defenders like he once did. He's a short yardage back. Hit another button, boss Cowboy. So every time I tell the truth, y'all, he's going to hit a button. Yeah, thank you. Hit another one. I just told you. Every time I tell the truth, he's going to hit a button.
Hell no.
Wait a minute.
Make yourself feel real good because I am telling the truth. Ezekiel Elliott is a good finisher because he's physical inside of the 10-yard line. Ezekiel Elliott is not a running back in today's quick, speedy NFL that can separate, and his cap number is too high. Okay, it's simply too high for his productivity. He needs to take a much lower contract, or the Cowboys need to move on.
Let me ask you this, though, OC. Let me ask you this. Is your assessment based on before or after the Lions game?
My assessment is based on a composite of the last 2 years. It is not based on a game or a particular one-season scenario. If I look at Ezekiel Elliott's yards per carry, and yes, we can throw in things about telling him. We can throw a hit on the button as I tell the truth, boss Cowboy. Make yourself feel good. But here's the deal. If you look at his productivity over the last couple of years, regardless of the amount of carries or what have you, his productivity has been on a decline. If you look at him physically on the eyeball test, he does not have the explosive twitch that he once had. It is significantly less. He's still strong. You feel like
before or after that Lions game, that explosive twitch that you're talking about.
the explosive twitch still has diminished over the last 2 years. He was better before the knee injury. I know where you're getting that, Law. He was better,
right?
But the twitch had still slowed down over the last couple of seasons. And when
if
you
you
look
know
at
where
that,
you're getting at, why can't you just accept the facts if you know where you're getting at?
No, I'm accepting that he was faster before the knee injury. Of course, yes, he was quicker before the knee injury.
That's all I wanted to know.
Yeah, he was.
Good job,
however,
good job.
However, over the last two seasons, the facts don't lie, Boss Cowboy. The data does not lie, and the eye in the sky does not lie. Right. And if you look at Ezekiel Elliott and his running style and his productivity, it has been on a significant decline since that time. He is no longer elusive in the hole. He is no longer able to separate and to explode for even 15-yard gains. He can't even explode like he used to for 15-yard gains.
Oh,
he gets
hell no.
He gets caught quickly. He gets game tackled. He's still strong as a lion, so he'll carry tackles. He'll run you over, and that's what makes him a great finisher.
Are you going to diminish that? Are you going to really diminish that? You going to diminish that? That's what you're going to diminish?
I just told you he's a great finisher. I said it for the third time, Boss Cowboy. He's a great finisher on short yardage and inside of the 10-yard line. Outside of that, in between the 10 and the 10, he does not have high productivity.
All right, good job, though, man. Doug, did you have
And he's a great blocker, too.
Oh, y'all not gonna do it. Go ahead, Tuck. I know you want some. Get some more.
And he got 12
Get some more.
touchdowns.
Get some more.
Y'all were trying to compare his speed and his burst before the Lions game. So my question, Law, is who were you comparing his speed to? Are you comparing to other NFL running backs or?
Well, without Zeke, I don't think we win that Cincinnati's game in week 2.
Nope.
Talk to him. 12.
You keep on guessing that.
Cincinnati.
What was the final score? 20-17.
What did Pollard do in Cincinnati, though?
Yeah, Pollard did run, but hey, I'm talking about those first downs, those third and shorts, and those 3rd and 12. Hey, they put a swing pass to him. And I don't think that we get close to that New York Giants game, week 3, 23-16. Hey, Ezekiel Elliott, he did his job in that game too as well. Now, I look at it too. Pollard is great at what he do, but we can't diminish the 12 touchdowns. Look, there's only 3 other running backs that have more touchdowns than Ezekiel Elliott. Yes or no?
So y'all saying all those great prospects,
he's getting the ball inside the 5-yard line.
All those prospects we did all that work on last week can't get you 3rd and 1s?
Maybe a few.
Malik Davis can't get you a 3rd and 1?
Maybe a few. Don't see, because come on now, maybe a few. Because see, that's a different. It's a different style. So you got obviously the lightning backs. You got the lightning backs.
I don't mean to cut you off.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. You meant to cut me off. Yes, you did mean to cut me off.
One hand bandit said this. Lord Bronson said he will be good in Philly because he needs a change of scenery. I'm sorry, that was funny. I had to say that. Go ahead.
Okay, they've been talking about Zeke.
Yeah.
They want
Oh, for real. They want Zeke now. See,
they want Zeke.
And so
but Zeke been an Eagles killer, though.
It's going to be petty.
I mean, you see what happened when they wanted DeMarco Murray, too, right?
Right.
Yeah. I mean most Eagles fans are Cowboy fans. You know,
it didn't work.
Look at Kevin Hart. You know,
they already got
Ezekiel Elliott's not going. If they went over, if Ezekiel Elliott went over to Philly, if Ezekiel Elliott, this is no hate. We always have to tell ourselves. The sad to me thing is that anytime we say anything about Ezekiel Elliott, we got to apologize. Every time we say something about him, we got to apologize first. I'm sorry, Zeke. We don't mean to say this about you because you've been a great warrior. Like, daggone, man. Like, this happens to every player in the NFL, y'all. Every NFL player is going to go through this, okay? Every one of them. They're going to go through this. And this is what's happened with Ezekiel Elliott now. How long we going to – I said it last week. How long we going to hold on? Y'all say we need to re-sign him. For how long?
I don't think they said re-sign. I think that they said that he need to take a cut, and I think that's what his.
Well, how long do you? How much longer do you want to keep him here then?
At least one more year.
Yeah.
Why, boss? Put the camera on. Put the camera on, boss.
Oh, damn, DLV. You see how
why you want to keep him?
All right, DLV. Ooh, DLV say put the camera on you. Put the camera on you. Make this. Let me tell you why.
Why do you want him for 1 year? What difference?
I got a ball.
My reasons why. I'm gonna tell you why.
I got a ball for you.
Okay, this is why. because I really believe that we should be trying to build in the draft, not replace in the draft. I feel like we do that too much. As much as possible, I would want us to try to hold the key people that made it possible for us to get where we were, where we was 2 games away from the Super Bowl. And then go get some guys. I'm cool with replacing Zeke, but I like my replacements in the building. I don't like my replacements in the draft coming up hoping they can replace Zeke. I don't like it like that. I just don't. Because we was hoping when we let Amari out the door that we could draft somebody that could replace Zeke. We had a good guy, but we wasted it. You know what I'm saying? So I like my guys in the building where they proved it. They got to some reps. They showed they can handle the league. Then you move on from Zeke. That would be my way of doing it. Malik Davis is not Zeke. That's a different style.
He better than Zeke right now.
Come on, bro.
He better than Zeke right now as of today.
It depends on what you. It depends on what you mean by better, bro. So if you talking about who's the better back for money downs, short yardage back, that's Zeke.
We don't know that though. We haven't put him in that situation. We don't know that.
You don't know that too. You haven't seen Malik Davis play 17 weeks, so we don't know that. We've seen him in a spoonful of games. Look. According to,
we haven't seen Zeke playing 17 weeks the last 2 years. Right. Well, I mean, the year before that, but
17 weeks, 12 tubs. But what I'm saying is that here's my thoughts on this. According to your logic, Joseph Randle was better than DeMarco Murray. Yes or no? He had fresher legs. And what happened?
I disagree with that. At that time, look, I didn't agree with that at all.
No, it wasn't. Did he say that there was meat on the wall? You said DeMarco Murray was at his peak when Joseph Randle was there. So you can't even make that comparison. Ezekiel Elliott is not at his peak right now.
Right.
And then y'all judgmental. Y'all so judgmental. Y'all want to just everybody judgment. Every one of y'all. Let me name the names. Big Game James, Tuck, DMV, and the OC. Every one of y'all are judgmental. See, Okoye did a 5 video.
Every one of y'all and Boss Cowboys and Law Nation are sentimental.
Okoye said today, and I stand with Okoye. Hear me out, because he made a good point. I listened to my homie today on his video where he pro Zeke, and this is what he said, and I agree with. When you go out there and you put up 800 yards with a broke leg, with an OC what we have, you don't call him washed up, you applaud. I agree with that. I agree with that. You applaud because he played hurt. He played hurt for this team. And then DMV and Big Game James, and Jay Tuck and the OC have a better look. This is that we want.
Oh, you see this guy? See this guy?
Get him.
Number one bullshit guy. He do the wee woo.
You don't ever give yourself no one. That's what you need.
Because I'm the best. Why would I do that to me? Why would I do that to me?
800 yards in 17 games.
Split carries. You're not contextualizing. You're not contextualizing
I'm gonna add that number up. No, boss. I'm gonna add the number up. I got a number for you. Hold up. I'm gonna add that number up. I'm at 856 yards. I'm gonna divide it into 17. I'm gonna divide it. Hold on.
You got it. No, he missed some games. No, you can't do that because he was
50 yards a game.
Oh, he was unavailable. He was unavailable for some games.
Split back.
50 yards a game.
See, boss. It's hard to.
Law. Hold up, Law. Because if Tony Pollard would have got hurt, about 5 games, because did the run game go up when Pollard was injured in the Tennessee game? Did our run game go up or did our run game decrease after he left?
Right.
One back was all right. The other one
in that game.
All right. So we got to get the corners.
I know that we struggled in that game.
We got to get the corners.
In the run game, didn't we?
Ain't nobody gonna win this debate today.
Miraculously do something great. It's gonna be a minute.
No, ain't nobody gonna win today. I know y'all want to keep talking about it.
Point.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah.
One more point, then we gonna get the corners.
All right. So look, guys. Look, all of us are big Cowboys fans, right? Who's the all-time leading rusher? Emmitt Smith, right? Mm-hmm. If we watch this team get rid of Emmitt Smith, I believe the year after, we should have no problem with them letting Zeke go. Yeah. We should have no problem with them letting him go. There should be no wee-woo.
Everybody wanted Troy Hambrick, too.
Yeah, Troy was trash. I give you that. We didn't have.
But not while he was playing. Not while he was playing. People were banging on tables. Put Troy Hambrick in.
But we got an opportunity to come up with a plan, though. Right now, we have a chance to come up with a plan.
You got a wrong back. You got the wrong back, but it was still the right thing to do with removing Emmitt Smith. He wasn't going to do anything in Dallas. You got the wrong running back.
But what if we get the wrong back?
But it was
again?
the right thing to do.
What if we get the wrong back
when Emmitt Smith went to the Cardinals,
there's no guarantee we won't get the wrong back.
Cardinals, boss, hold up. When Emmitt Smith went to the Cardinals, when they let him go, what did he do?
Roy Williams put him out.
He got close to a. Hold on.
Get him,
one
Lost.
season he got close to 1,000
he
yards.
didn't do nothing at Arizona.
And one season he did get close to 1,000 yards, man. And Larry Fitzgerald was saying that, hey, if it wasn't for Emmitt, he wouldn't have been able to be the wide receiver he was because of his talent. Y'all can Google and look it up. Look it up. Before you judge that, look it up.
He did.
Look it up.
Yes, he did.
So y'all saying that Tony Pollard
so now we're
that's the point, though. That's the guy we got. That's the guy we let go. My bad.
Man.
Go ahead, Big Game.
No, we had Tuck said something.
I'm cool, Tuck.
So are y'all saying that Tony Pollard isn't worth the franchise tag?
I wouldn't franchise tag him.
I mean, or sign him long term. Y'all don't think that
I would sign him, but I wouldn't franchise tag him.
Because it sounds like y'all don't believe that Tony Pollard should be the guy. That's what.
It's hard to say if he is the guy. It's hard to say. It really is. Because we don't know what he going to be coming off that ankle. We really don't. We can hope what he going to be, but we don't know what he going to be. And because we saw Dez.
So we don't know what Tony Pollard's going to be coming off
league,
that ego, but we know what Zeke's going to be coming off the knee for 2 years in a row.
It's a better chance that he go come off better because his injuries didn't require a knife.
Boss, let me settle this real quick, man. This is the year that boss. This is the year, boss Cowboy, that Ezekiel Elliott has had a rushing average of less than 4 yards. He has a 3.8 yards a carry average this year. Now, to boot, he played in 15 games. He played in 17 games last year. This year, with playing in 2 less games, he had just about equal carries. He had 6 less carries than he had last year. Playing in less games, boss Cowboy. He has averaged less than 4 yards, boss Cowboy. He's had a long run, boss Cowboy, a long run. His longest run of the year was 27 yards. He does not have the explosive twitch that you need anymore. Okay, boss? These are the facts, boss Cowboy. You don't want your run average going down below 4 if you were a guy that averaged 4.5 to 5 yards to carry throughout your career. It is showing signs of slowing down. It is showing signs of deterioration.
My God.
And that,
it's so fake.
That, boss Cowboy, you cannot deny. Get younger at running back. You can get a young, hungry player to give you similar productivity if you give him the carries, boss Cowboy, and that is a fact.
Next and get more.
So hold on. That's a lot of you not gonna factor in the fact that he played hurt to your average?
He's a tough guy. I appreciate him. He's played hurt.
So you're not gonna give him
I'm giving him credit.
So basically, he's supposed to break his arm, break his leg, and be the same.
Last year
got paid. Hold up, boss. You go first
of
all,
2 years in a row.
I'm not crying a river for no. Hold up, OC. Hold up, OC. I'm not crying a river for Ezekiel Elliott, and I'm not pocket watching. I promise you. But you're saying broke knees and broke elbows. He has made very good money by playing football in these 2 deals, 2 contracts, big money. We were all mad at him for going to Cabo or whatever, right? So, yes, he has played through stuff, but he has also got paid very well. One of the top paid running backs in the league for how long? So it's not like he ain't been compensated for his work.
Right. No, he been compensated. What I'm saying is why we go say he's averaging less and don't factor in that he played hurt. Like, come on, bro. Okay, so basically that's like saying when y'all remember when Dez came back? Do y'all remember he came back from that ankle surgery? That's like saying, well, he not the same. Of course not. He playing hurt. Can we give him
some players are not the same? Do they still keep him?
His body is wearing down on him. That's why
he's
been
hurt.
Or he has some freak injuries. It's either wearing down or
It's a running
freakish.
back. Stop it. He
I'm
has the
leaning
most
on
carries since he's
freakish.
coming to the league.
What other injuries
He's
have
the most
Zeke had? Because
Both
He's had the most
I start worrying
carries
about
since
injury
he's coming
prone
to the
when I
league.
see your ankle go out, when your knee go out, then your shoulder go out. But if you got hit on the same knee and you had a hyperextension on the same knee, that can be bad luck. Right?
Boss Cowboy.
Man, can we talk about Can we talk about corners?
No, you want to mug?
Please. I don't want to talk about no
Can we
Zeke
talk?
Elliott no
People
more.
want to hear the corners, so y'all want to fight.
I want to talk about
No, you want to hear
Leave it alone.
You want to wiggle out of it.
Man,
Don't wiggle out of it.
No,
man, y'all gonna make the show 30 hours.
Elliott no more, dog.
I gotta listen, man. I got something to do after this, man. Can we talk about the corners, please? Jesus Christ, I'm sick of it.
Please, I'm done. Me too. You brought it up.
All right, yeah. I wanted the OC to get his final word.
You brought all this up,
but then all y'all had to jump in and lose this debate again.
Y'all two do a solo
fault.
show and argue about Ezekiel Elliott. Y'all two do a solo show and argue about Zeke.
I just let everybody know this back here on the walls coming down here in a few weeks. We got something new coming up.
That's what's up. All right, here we go. We on corner now. So our current corners.
Before we go to corner, do you pick up Bobby Wagner or do you allow
talk about
LVE for another
Thank you,
year?
Law.
Because I'm seeing everybody talking about Bobby Wagner.
Let's talk about Bobby Wagner. That's something we can talk about. You started off, Law, since you brought it up.
Look, I've seen multiple people called him washed, right? And all I've seen is that the dude had six sacks last season and 2 interceptions. I think we can utilize that within the confines of the Cowboys system, especially on defense. Someone who already knows Dan Quinn's system and philosophy. I will bring him in for a good cup of coffee. Bring him in.
I love it. We go with you, Tuck. What's your thoughts on Bobby?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm bringing Bobby Wagner in, but do I think the Cowboys going to do it this time? Nah. I just don't see it happening. So, like Law said, he's been productive. You know what I'm saying? He had 140 tackles, 80 solos, I think, this past season. So, yeah, he's been productive. You know, but I tell everybody who watches my channel, just rewatch the video I dropped last year on Bobby Wagner. I just don't see the Cowboys doing it, but they're gonna, they're gonna be interested or intrigued by Bobby Wagner. But I doubt they actually get the deal done. So.
F it. Why not? Go get him, bro. Go get him. I mean, he has an excellent track record with Dan Quinn. We trust Dan Quinn and Dan Quinn. We trust. And, I mean, at this point, you got somebody who's going to add a little bit of attitude to this defense and some leadership. A guy who's won the Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? He's an excellent pro. Not only that, you're a proven winner and an excellent pro. So I'm with it. You know what I'm saying? Bring him in for a cup of coffee, for a steak, or whatever you got to do. But I'm for it.
A Mavs game.
Big, it's on you.
Yeah, I'm definitely with that. Especially, this is what I say, because Bobby Wagner made his money last year with the Rams, right? So he was holding on, wanting to get his pay. He got paid already, so maybe he doesn't go on the angle of money this time, because they're not going to come at that. Remember, Anthony Barr, who he wanted, he had a high number as well, right?
They
waited, that number dropped, and then
5.
they got him. So maybe that happens with Bobby Wagner, and maybe he's like, maybe he wants to play with a young Michael Parsons. And to DMV's point, maybe some of those guys, they get older in years and they like to mentor. So maybe he wants to play around Michael Parsons, and he's not like he's coming to a chopped liver defense. He's coming into a very good young defense. So and like you said, the connection with Quinn, I think it could happen, maybe. Because the fact that he already got paid with the Rams, and maybe that might help Dallas. The first time around, no, but maybe the second time around it could happen. But I definitely would want it to happen, because he could definitely add to that linebacking core, especially the young guys in Damone Clark, Devin Harper, Jabril Cox. All those young guys could definitely use a guy like him in that linebacker room.
Yeah, I think that Bobby Wagner helps this defense from a maturity and a play-making perspective. Do I think the Cowboys bring him in? I think they're biased towards high-profile, successful free agents. I don't think they bring him in. I think that they still will want him dirt cheap, and I don't think he'll go exactly league minimish. I think he'll be above league minimal. But I do think he could help our defense immensely. If they made that move, I think they're more likely to re-sign LVE than they are to bring in Bobby Wagner based upon their mode of operation. That's what I think.
I think we got one chance of getting Bobby Wagner.
Dan Quinn.
That's it. And because Dan Quinn was in talks with him last year, right?
Yeah.
And it's been a whole lot of buzz of Dallas needed to go all in. His cap hit was only $4 million, right? Now, we ain't talking about the dead money, but that would be a very all-in guy. The reason why, honestly, I still don't think they go do it, though, I'm gonna go ahead and copy off J Tuck paper. It's because of LVE. I think we still got that our guys philosophy. I think we still treat outside free agents like bastards. So even though that would be the move to move us over, I don't think we go do it because we got these our guy philosophies. But if we was really serious, we wouldn't be hanging on the LVE. Because actually, in my opinion, he played good, but I think he'll be better as a weak side linebacker and bring Bobby in here to be your middle, right? Because, that would be perfect where you getting the value of LVE as well as getting the increased value and linebacker value in Bobby Wagner.
Clark will play your sound?
Yeah, Clark would play my sound. That would be my
He'll
sound.
be good at sound. He'll be good at sound.
And I will still even rotate him every week just because I will be trying to maintain LVE's effectiveness. Because I think if you play him too much, he get injured. Just being
no doubt. So two for the price of one. One, you bring in you keep LVE to appease the Jones family.
Yep.
And then two, you appease the Quinn administration by bringing in Bobby Wagner, someone who knows the defense there. And also, you can find the money by restructuring or cutting Zeke money down, right? You just find the money with your
that's where we at now.
We ain't going back into that.
I love y'all, man. Come on.
All right, so we go finally talk about what we're here to talk about and what y'all want to hear about, man. This is the draft show. We do it a little bit different where we first talk about our guys because before we talk about the draft, doesn't it make sense to talk about it in relation to our guys?
Right.
So we go first kind of give a quick picture. We go around the room again, give our synopsis. Then we go through our list of free agents as well as draft candidates. So just to recap it, we got Diggs. That's obvious. That's CB1.
Right.
I would also say Bland is CB2. Now, some people say we're looking for CB2. I actually feel like we're looking for the nickel. We're looking for a nickel. So then we got options with bringing back Anthony Brown, which I would be for. I know in your list, Law, I think you had it on your list as well, Tuck, of bringing back Anthony Brown as an option. To me, that would be an excellent nickel. We also got guys that's on rookie contracts that still can be some assets, and you got risers coming out of those guys. So let's go around the room. I'm going to start with you, Big, and let's kind of get your thoughts on the current room. Then we go through everybody's idea of free agents as well as draft picks, and we go through some film. It's on you, Big.
All right. Well, first the room. I like the room. Well, I like the room as far as when you're talking about with Bland, what he did. He came out of nowhere. He's a big physical corner. He meets everything that you want. He's got speed. He's got size. He's got tenacity. He can play inside. He can play outside. And I think that's what you really love about him. We know what we got in Diggs as far as his playmaking ability. I'm with you and Tuck, and I think DMV. I said it probably about a month ago or maybe a little bit more when I was talking about our free agents, about bringing back our own. I said I was cool with bringing Anthony Brown back as a reserve. Obviously, he's making like the $5 million. That's going to drastically drop. I said he'll be the Orlando Scandrick, the new Orlando Scandrick of Dallas. Remember how he got 3 contracts squeezed out, and I don't know how he did it. So I think this is what Anthony Brown could be as well. I think he could be the Orlando Scandrick type guy. And then, we'll see what's Kelvin Joseph. I mean, I don't know. He could possibly even be cut if he doesn't step his game up.
True.
I would probably lean more toward Nashawn Wright since we saw him the last maybe 2 games. We saw maybe some decent positives out of him. So, he's got the size that they want. That could be something that they could work with. And then obviously Izzy Mukamu, who came out of nowhere like gangbusters the last part of the year. And the big thing about him is that, he played safety in high school, and then he played a corner and safety in college. But they were putting him in the slot. And, I remember seeing a tweet how J-Ron Curse was talking about, bro, this big boy 6'4" playing in the slot, swallowing these guys. So, I like that. As far as the free agents, I haven't really looked deeply into them. There's quite a bit out there. But I think the Dallas Cowboys, if they're looking at any kind of free agent, they'll either go with somebody who's young and really cheap. I don't think they're going to touch an old. If they do, he'll be like the Xavier Rhodes, and it wouldn't be till like a mid-season. I don't think they would sign an older guy early. I think they would go with the cheap version, like when they had the Trayvon Mullins, those type guys, the 24, 25-year-olds really don't know too much about them. They sign those types. They don't really bring in the real type guys, and I think they really try to stay with their own. I think Jordan Lewis, he's probably going to get cut, and I think they probably maybe attack the draft with maybe another round of maybe a possible 2 corners and fight it out and see what that pressure puts on Kelvin Joseph and Nashawn Wright, because as I said before, I think those guys are borderline, especially Kelvin Joseph. He could be cut, especially if you draft one of these corners, young corners, and he starts turning up. One of those guys could be out.
So,
yeah, so I agree with Big Game James. I think there's a lot of things that's in-house when it comes to the Cowboys at the cornerback position. And I think Deron Bland is pretty much the jack of all trades to be able to play inside and also outside. Now, you did mention, the possibility of Jay Lou being cut. And I know approximately the Cowboys could save around $5 million, I think, if they was to cut Jay Lou. But honestly, y'all, if I had to decide between Anthony Brown or Jordan Lewis, I'm leaning towards Jordan Lewis, but you never know what players going to bounce back after the injury. So if you do bring back Jordan Lewis, you could play Deron Bland and be your outside corner because he showed that he can play on both sides. But also, you mentioned Israel Mukuamu. When it comes to Kelvin Joseph, I feel like right now is make or break season. We kind of know what we've seen thus far. Special teams is all right, but you can find special team guys in the draft, which we'll probably talk about a few here as well. And so it's going to be make or break to really step up. Now, I've been pitching around the idea for quite some time when it comes to Kelvin Joseph was moving him back to safety. But I feel like after last year when he really got his shot, you started hearing some rumblings about his attitude, different things going on. So as Big Game James said, this is kind of make or break. Because I feel like now in year 3, the Cowboys have no hesitation cutting and moving on from Kelvin Joseph if it doesn't work out. So you got a lot of different things and different options in house. But like I said, Jordan Lewis is going to be the one I'm really keeping my eye on, because if you keep Jordan Lewis, he's going to be your inside guy, which will make me lean towards Bland being my outside guy, which can cause you some wiggle room in the draft and free agency.
Man, that's impressive that you actually lobbying for Lewis, bro. That's different. I ain't even tripping on it.
I like Lewis. I like J. Lou.
Yeah, man. I think that, the good thing about this defensive back room is that you got some young players that can really help step up and contribute that really haven't got the play time because of veterans, right? So you got Izzy. I mean, obviously, Bland did a fantastic job. I think if he starts the whole year as he should, he'll probably end up making a Pro Bowl this next year. That's how good I think he is. Extremely versatile, ball hawk, physical tackler. He's everything to me that you want in a cornerback, and he was an absolute steal. Salute to Will McClay on him in particular. You got Izzy. I think he can fill in. He's a situational guy. I think you got Nashawn Wright that needs to develop. I still think that, regardless of all the issues that have happened, hey, I really do think that Kelvin Joseph has the ability to be a very good cornerback. But unfortunately, that's up to him. He has to really lock in, make football first, make it a top priority, and prove that he wants to be an asset to the organization, or this will be his last year with the Cowboys. In my opinion, with Jay Lou, I think every dog has his day, and I'm a real good fan of him, but I think it's time to move on from him. I think you can get younger in the draft. I think you can pick up value in free agency. And also, I think with Brown, I'm scared about those Achilles injuries because I've been around players. I've seen people with them. I know that the Dallas Cowboys, they do a fantastic job with rehab. But, man, when you have that Achilles, man, that's a tough one. You need like a couple years on that one. So if he's at a cheap price, keep him. But if it's anything too far above league minimum, I think you've shown the ability to draft very, very well, and you can also replace him in the draft as well.
I'm liking that G. Lou getting a resurgence of people. I see some people rocking with J. Lou. That's different. That is different. Go ahead, on DV.
Yeah, man. Hey, look, it's tough following all of y'all, but y'all said all of the right things. And the one thing that I'd add to it is the reason that I like this cornerback room utility that we have. So if you look at the top 3 guys that we had that we ended with in the playoffs, where you got Diggs, you got Bland, and then you got Izzy, who jumped in and played some nickel for us in the situation in which we needed him too. I think having just those 3 right there is a building block for us right now. Now, anybody else like Nashawn Wright and Kelvin Joseph coming in and fighting for those jobs, that's a hell of a problem to have. Not to mention with some of these cornerbacks in this draft, you possibly adding somebody. The versatility of Bland allows you to, if you got a really good player on the board and it's a corner, you can take him and feel very comfortable doing so. So I think we're in a hell of a position as far as the cornerback room goes. So that's all I really got to say about that.
No doubt, man. DB room is one of those things whereas we can is it messing up over there? Yeah, DB rooms is one of those things where we all can look back at and say, yeah, we want to be better in those spots. I've seen CJ Goodwin been here for like 3 to maybe 5 years just because of special teams play. So when I look at that, there could be a calling card even for our second round draft pick, Kelvin Joseph, because if you even look back at the San Francisco game, yes, he was able to create a play right there. So the skill, the athleticism is there. We just need to see that boy out there on the field. And granted, we may can say slightly last season mulligan for the off-season situation, but I'm looking at it like this. Let's go out there and draft another DB. I want Dayron Bland to stay inside the slot because that's two-way goals. That's nothing easy to do, especially as a DB in his rookie year to get 5 INTs. That's something special. I think that the Cowboys should look into either bringing in a veteran guy to really look into this team to help out. The off season is long and the training camp is long. So let's bring in more and more competition. Let's go out there and draft one of these guys that can be on the outside. And I think that's what the Cowboys' plan and philosophy would be. Far as Nashawn Wright, this should be his probably last year before he go, if he can't give us nothing. If they do decide to bring back a Trayvon Mullen for the training camp, that will benefit us because we didn't get a chance to see that guy really going through the rigmarole of training camp. He was thrown out there to the Wolves and he got burnt like toast. So I think that the Cowboys need to reevaluate everything. As far as J. Lou, hey, you can save $4 to $5 million. If they do decide to see what's else out there, then that could be a cap casualty because we need that $4 to $5 million to bring in a Bobby Wagner, right? Come on.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
Question: what was the J. Lou injury? Was it hip?
Ankle or something.
No, he had that Lies Frank injury. That's a bad injury for a foot.
Ooh,
yeah, it is. It's a bad one, dude.
Bad injury.
Like
that's a real bad
same
injury
level
to
as an
come back
Achilles.
from.
Same level as an Achilles injuries. That's why I'm not really bothered if you move on from both those guys, man. Those are tough injuries, man. It affects your twitch and your reaction and just all those things. And I don't know, man. I'm not sure about that.
So now we're getting to the good part. This is what y'all came for. DMV, you up. So
yes,
his
sir.
free agent prospects: Anthony Brown, Marcus Peters, CJ Goodwin, Byron Jones, if rumors are true. All right?
Yeah.
And then we will go through your draft prospects, and then we go just kind of put it all together and go through any film breakdowns that we have here too. Devin Witherspoon, Christian Gonzalez, Brian Branch, Clark Phillips, Cam Smith. All right. So we got some film on Christian Gonzalez, but I wanted you to kind of talk about your list, free agents, as well as your draft prospects. Put it all together, then we'll just kind of rock it as you talk about yours. Because you also did a film analysis. I want to kind of showcase this. You did a breakdown on Witherspoon on your channel. So you called him the most physical corner. So you can start whatever you want to go with, and then we go all kind of go through every one of our individuals. So go for it.
All right, bet. So I'll talk about the free agent list first, right? So obviously we all said Anthony Brown, and who would know better if Anthony Brown is as healthy, but the Cowboys training staff.
Facts.
And we also know that Anthony Brown works very well with this team. At the time that he went out, he was playing some pretty solid football. Sure, he gave up maybe one big play a game, but outside of that, Anthony Brown was probably playing some of the best football of his life. So For a good portion of the year, we were searching for a number 2 corner, and we definitely missed him. So if he could come back, and he would probably work team-friendly deal, you go ahead and you go get him. You know what I'm saying? And you don't have to worry about that. I think one of the things you said earlier about when we were talking about Zeke is that I guess the more things you don't have to really change and you can kind of keep there, Anthony Brown offers you that. So with Marcus Peters, I mean, if they have to get a guy, Marcus Peters is solid. He's scrappy. I know sometimes he gets beat, but you're getting a solid veteran there. The only thing about Marcus Peters is what's that asking price. So he's probably somebody that I would have last on this list, but of the free agent markets out there, he's one of the better names, and he might want to be a part of this team because we built a juggernaut. CJ Goodwin, we know what he does with special teams. He's going to come in pretty cheap.
Yeah,
he was on the list.
God, he is. Can I push back on you on that CJ though?
Yeah, go ahead.
The pushback that I have on that CJ Godwin is even though he's going to be cheap, he's still not going to be as cheap as potentially Kevin, right? And I think Kelvin is starting to rise as a special teamer. He did have some penalties. Some people call him bonehead. When I went and reviewed it, most of them was false penalties, in my opinion, looking at the replay. Could we also save a little bit of coin by just moving on from CJ and kind of reserving that role for Kelvin and allowing that to be a development? What's your thoughts on that?
Well, I think it also depends because, if we're talking wish list, it doesn't necessarily mean that hey, let's sign them right away. Yeah. It might be where we get through camp and we might say, it ain't really working.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Then you're able to sign him a little bit cheaper. So, I'm glad you asked that question because I was able to offer that perspective.
Yeah,
and then lastly, Byron Jones. There's rumors that the Dolphins could move on from him. Now, I look at it this way, right? Now, we'll say Byron Jones. He's not going to be the Byron Jones that we last had, obviously, right? But I look at him as a guy that's equal to what Anthony Brown could be for us, meaning but if they're on the open market, Anthony Brown, I think, would cost more. So you might be able to get Byron Jones, a guy like Byron Jones, for cheaper. And I think he would fit in for what we need. You know what I'm saying? So, just keep that in mind and keep that open if he is on the market. And I'm pretty sure he probably would come back to Dallas. He didn't leave on bad terms. He just got more money,
Right. No, that's fair. I definitely feel you on that. So we got next on the list. Obviously, we got Tuck. So let me set it up, Tuck, man. I should have said elaborate. I needed. Hey, but we good. All right, I'm back now. So
okay.
Here we go. No, here we go. So, all right. So let's get paid. So J Tuck, we got you. And draft procs is another Devin Witherspoon. So that's 2 separate eyes. We don't talk before we send our list either, right? We got 2 people that's on Devin Witherspoon. Now Joey Porter's new. Emmanuel Force of Mississippi State. We got film on that. I want you to break that down. Christian Gonzalez, we got some film on that. We can break that down. Deontay Banks, we definitely want you to break down that film on that. And then your sleeper, we want to talk about that. All right. Then your free agents, you got Marcus Peters, Anthony Brown, Kyle Fuller, and Logan Fuller. So where you want to start, bro? It's your show right now. What you want to do? You want to go to the film? What you want to do?
I'll quickly go into free agents real quick. So my first free agent would be Marcus Peters, and I dropped a video earlier after the season ended that there was kind of a connection with Trayvon Diggs and Marcus Peters where, Trayvon Diggs had posted on Instagram, I think, a picture of Coach Harris, and then Marcus Peters commented on it, and then Trayvon Diggs, I think he posted like the devil emoji, and then Marcus Peters did the shish emoji. So I was like, all right, is there something kind of looming with Marcus Peters and Trayvon Diggs? That was kind of odd. Anthony Brown, we always talked about. Kyle Fuller, and then Logan Ryan was the other guy. Kyle Fuller is a guy who's coming off an ACL injury. So I know the Cowboys sometimes like those guys coming off an injury. They can kind of, keep looming in the back pocket and maybe get for cheap, like in the middle of the season or something. I think his injury happened like week 1. So he only had one game last year. So, let him recover maybe mid-camp or, in the middle of the season. They could probably bring in Kyle Fuller or possible Logan Ryan. Now, it's the draft prospects, the fun part. So Devin Witherspoon out of Illinois. I think this is a lot of people's top prospect, but I'm going to be completely honest with y'all. When it comes to his corners, there's not a lot of separation. So Devin Witherspoon, 6'1", very feisty, very sticky, great cover corner. And when you watch Devin Witherspoon, like I said, DMV did a great breakdown on him today, but he can diagnose routes. He's very cerebral corner, can play well, play on the ball. He also plays on the outside and also in the slot, so he gives you that versatility. Now, my biggest concern when it comes to Witherspoon is that, one, he didn't play the game of football until his junior year of high school, and two, he only had one productive year at Illinois, which was his past season. So it's like, was it something he can continue to build off of? We do not know, because he hasn't put it together for consistent years. So that's going to be a huge jump, especially if he's the number one corner off the board in the NFL draft. Joey Porter Jr., we are all familiar with his father, man, who was a dog that played, a linebacker for the Pittsburgh Steelers. This kid has that very same sentiment. He's dog, very aggressive, very physical. Now, the one thing when I did my breakdown on Joey Porter, that he can get a little handsy, grabby at times, was flagged a lot, especially downfield. And my biggest concern when it comes to Joey Porter, he's not a freakish athlete. He gets stacked a lot. And does he have the makeup speed to really play against those twitchy wide receivers? So
can you explain stack? Just explain that real quick.
So I'm trying to see, was that the clip on? So sometimes, like when
I can rewind it too, bro. Whatever you need me to do.
I'm trying to see if he was up top or up bottom. So it's pretty much when the wide receiver gets over the top of the corner. I'm not sure if
that's stacked right there.
But yeah, right there, right.
That's
so he's stacked right there.
Yeah.
And so does he have the makeup speed? I think this quarterback didn't put the ball in the proper location, but at the NFL level, in most cases, that's going to the house, right? So if he gets stacked versus the NFL caliber talent, I just don't think he has that makeup speed to get back in. I'm talking to get back in phase, right? But when it comes to Joey Porter Jr., like I said, he has the talent, he has the mentality. He'll come down and tackle, but there's still a lot of cleanup when it comes to his game. Like those routers, he's really going to struggle with, because especially in press coverage, he really doesn't get his hands up and really in sync. So, but if you get a coach that can coach him on his technique, there's a lot of solid foundation for Joey Porter Jr. Emmanuel Forbes, I think I sent you the tape on him.
Yeah, I got
it. So we talked about Trayvon Diggs. Yeah, there you go. Yeah,
don't listen to Law. Law might be a little bit biased. Don't trust Law on nothing with Mississippi on it, man. Oh, I like him.
Yeah. It's that pick six right here. Yeah, that pick six right there. Yeah.
I don't think is it the pick six?
He's a runner. He's a track star.
Yeah. We talked about Trayvon Diggs and also Jerron Bland, but they're able to turn over the ball. Like Emmanuel Forbes, he's a ball hawk. He led the college football in interceptions with 13 interceptions in his career. 20% completion percentage in the man, so he can cover a man. It tracks the corners, like if he was to battle against like a Michael Gallup or a Mike Evans, those types of wide receivers, would he struggle? So I think he can put on some more mass, but he has all the intangibles. Like I said, he has a good sense for the ball. And I like what I was talking about here in a second, that if he's able to slide up, he can push some of these other corners back to 26, where the Cowboys are going to have that conversation. The next prospect, Christian Gonzalez out of Oregon. I will say that Christian Gonzalez, pound for pound, is the most talented cornerback in this year's class. Versatile. Smooth. Yeah, he's very smooth, outside, inside guy. He can play press coverage, zone, great instincts, fluid. It's just the mentality, right? I just don't see that cornerback, I'm that guy, soft. Right? And
he don't tackle that well. He don't tackle that well to me.
He's soft. You know what I'm saying? He's soft. All right. You know what I'm saying? And he reminds me of...
He a pretty boy.
He a pretty boy. He reminds me a lot
from Tennessee. years
exactly.
ago.
Caleb Farley, right. That's exactly what I was going to say. Caleb Farley, like he has all the athletic ability, but you just didn't see him wanting to be that guy. But if you could inject, like if I could take some of that boss man and just inject that into Christian Gonzalez, you have the perfect prospect. So that's my one knock when it comes to Christian Gonzalez. But he has all the talent. He can do a lot of different things. Deontay Banks from Maryland, a name you're hearing starting to.
That's my guy. Like,
there you go. So Big Game James already on it, right? So his name's starting to buzz. Great height, great recovery speed. He's primarily just the outside guy, but he's a 6'2", large. And I think once a lot of teams and scouts see him at the combine, I think his name is going to jump.
We got a chance to see him under Quinn, right? So it's like a whole nother thing, though. You know, so
half the time we didn't know what we was doing with him, though. That was it.
I mean, because it's not like he went over to Cincinnati and fell off.
Right.
No,
honestly,
remember half his career.
Over
half his career, didn't we play him as safety too, or something? We were trying to figure out if he was a safety at first, or if he was a corner.
No, he was corner.
I was saying they should have put him at safety.
Yeah, at one point they was flirting with it though. It was back and forth.
It was rumors about it.
Yeah,
it
he's
was
safety in Colorado. You're right, Big Man.
And it was
playing safety in Colorado.
Can I go back to my presentation that y'all jacked?
Go ahead.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Sorry, sir.
Jesus
Finish
Christ.
up,
Class is in session.
And another thing, out of place.
All right, so then I got my boy Ringo on the list. All right, and so with Ringo, what I see with Ringo is exactly what you said, Law. Is I see a good football player with stiffness, right? I think you hit that dead on the head. Another thing that I see with him, he's obviously physical. He's obviously Dan Quinn-ish. He struggles to stop. So you notice he gets beat on underneath routes a lot. That's because his stops are bad. He does what I call a double stop, where it takes two plants in the ground for him to get into his drive, you know? And so when you watch him, especially this Tennessee tape, when he's beat underneath. You know what I mean? He's not beat over top. He's beat. That was a good play right there. Good, but he got a penalty, kind of handsy. But when I watch him, it's a lot of fans that I watch, they love him. I don't know if he'll really transfer to the next level to being a real good corner because of the stiffness, you know, and because of the inability to stop. So here's a play, likely they getting ready to take him vertical, and you go see, because he's long, he go do his thing. He has good. Oh no, see, you see them stops?
Yeah.
You know, he struggles to stop, you know, and anybody that struggles to at stopping is gonna struggle with route runners on the next level. And it's way too many route runners in the league to trust his feet. You see all that separation? That's from a lack of stopping.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So when I'm breaking him down,
but he got stiff hips, bro.
Yeah, he's still. Yeah. But see, look, vertical, he good. You see, on vertical stuff.
That was on Hyatt.
Nah, that was on
Hyatt.
Nah, that wasn't on
Tillman.
Hyatt.
Tillman.
That was on 4.
Tillman.
Yeah. So
I like Tillman, yo.
But vertical, he good.
I like him too.
Yeah. Tillman, he a sleeper. But so here's another one where you go see him struggle to stop. You know, so when I'm looking at corners, I'm looking at how you stop. It's all this clear separation on him. Imagine him going against Amari. Oh my God, bro.
Oh my gosh, man.
Oh my God.
Amari. Oh yeah, the mix, the blender.
Oh man. Or we can pick so many receivers that he would likely struggle with. You know what I mean?
Well, what about big nickel roll?
I don't think his frame will hold up for the big nickel, but I like your idea.
I just. The value would just have to match him. Like you don't want to reach value for him.
I agree.
You would have to get a value and then, you know what I'm saying, develop him over time. You know what I'm saying, where there's no pressure.
You can correct that too, DMV. You can correct that. You can correct what's going on with that stoppage. He need about 6 months of jump rope. 10 minutes every day. OC, can you talk about that real quick? Look at OC eating.
I'm good, bro. I'm good.
I count you eat. No, I'm messing with you. No, but
I'm good.
you smacking and everything, lips greasy. No, but can you talk about that jump rope regimen?
No. So listen, salute to Boss Cowboy on this, because when me and Boss Cowboy were in college, he was a guy that was really, just with his advice, single-handedly really increased my game greatly. Because my last 2 years in college, I gave up 1 sack, and it was because Boss Cowboy saw me in practice. He said, "Hey man, you need to make your feet quicker." And so I started jump. He said, "You need to jump rope." So I started to jump rope, and I only did it like 3 to 5 minutes a day.
That's all.
But after a couple months,
man,
it made my twitch and my ankles and my calves so much faster. So I never got beat on speed rushes after that. So that rope does help your quickness, and really what it's doing. And I'm just being technical because I read some studies about it, because that's the kind of person I am. It develops the small muscles in your feet. So when you train the small muscles in your feet by being on your toes, it makes you quicker. And so that's what he needs. Absolutely.
It really works too. It's like, so you can fix him, to your point, DMV. I agree. You could fix everything that we seeing. It would take about 5 months though, to the OC's point. It take a while for that twitch to really kick in, but you got to train it. You got to train it in your feet. So anyway, let me go back to my list. I ain't gonna be long, but I want to really break him down because I see a lot of hype on Ringo. I'm still giving him 2 stars, but I like what you said, DMV. It's gonna be the value location. Joey Porter, I might need your help on that, Tuck. I'm not high on him yet. So when we get off the show, refer me to some films that I need to go look, because I want to make sure I'm not missing him. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna need your help on him to be. Now he made the guide. He's in my guide, but my notes on him wasn't the best. You know what I mean? And I want to just make sure I'm looking at enough games. Appreciate that.
Just don't watch that Ohio State tape.
Well, that's probably what I did. That's probably what
everybody
always watch.
Burn that Ohio State tape. Every
like, don't watch Ohio.
Yeah.
Hey, boss, now, Banks, we're telling you to watch that Banks. No, we're telling you to watch Banks on Ohio State.
But don't watch it on him, though.
Go ahead.
The thing about Joey Porter Jr. really is he's more of a football player than he is a corner right now. I think that, obviously he's going to work on technique and somebody's going to coach him up. But I actually wrote my notes. I could see him switching to safety later on with his frame and everything. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I saw, man.
He's not really big though. I mean, he's 6'2", but he ain't big 6'2".
Yeah,
so I can see what
they got him at 194, but you act like they could. They could. I mean, over some years, you could put some peanut butter. I mean, like
I know. I'm just saying to your point where I think he would be more of a safety type because of his. If you look at his frame is built, he built like he could transition to a free safety.
And see, that's the thing with this year's class. I feel like if you put these players in last year's class, we're looking at a lot of 2nd round, 3rd round prospects.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? So that's the hardest part. Because like I said, even with Witherspoon, it's a huge boom or bust. And the same thing with Joey Porter. Because like I said, he is extremely grabby. I think he was the first corner I broke down on my channel. So I did the full breakdown on him. But it's like a lot of hands, a lot of bad placements. You know, it's just like, what's these all options we got? You know what I'm saying? Like, they ain't no free. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I don't think Witherspoon gonna run well. I don't think he's gonna run well. That's why I think he's gonna drop down a little bit.
Watch that underwear Olympics is gonna tear up everything.
That's what I'm saying. Like, they got him up here now. Somebody gonna go past. I think we'll have a shot at him or close to it, and maybe 58 or something. I don't think he's gonna run well.
None of y'all had Darius Rush out there, huh? On the list.
Nah.
I haven't gotten to him yet.
And that don't mean my list right yet. I'll go take another look. You know, especially when,
I'm gonna write that down
y'all I'm taking notes as y'all talk, because I want to be super solid on these dudes by draft day. And when y'all see something different, I go take another look. I really do.
Yeah,
I ain't seen nobody had DJ Turner.
Hodges Tomlinson was the player I looked at film wise, and my eyes lit up. But it's just he's just short. You know what I'm saying? So that's
short.
Yeah. And that's what Clark Phillips was for me. You know what I'm saying? He's short, little guy. That's my pet cat though. To be honest, my pet cat. Haven't really talked too much about him. I'll save it for the final word.
And see, one thing real quick though, Tuck, that you said, Tuck, you talked about something earlier, bro, that I always stand with. Most people probably not saying this, but I don't like this corner class. And I think Big said it best. It's good, but it's not a lot. You got to get on this class early. And it's going to be some reaches on this class. It's just what it is. It's going to be reaches.
And that's why I said, just from the Eagles' perspective, I know a lot of them's been mocking, you know, Witherspoon. And it's just like, if he was to go there, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just like, cool, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I mean, cool. I'm going back in the draft room, like, you know, like, I got you on corner, you know what I'm saying? You know, like,
good job, Philly.
Yeah, great Bradbury replacement, right? So it's like, I feel like they're gonna have to be out there, and you're gonna put them on like this. Like, here's the thing: if they take Witherspoon, right, and we go get one of our guys that we talked about when we did the wide receiver week, like a Zay Flowers or a Josh Down, they would carve Witherspoon up. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like that's the type of, you know, wide receivers that and Porter are going to struggle with, those routers, those guys that can run the full tree that's really crisp and precise. You can't get the hands on them. Like, I don't know. So,
no, I'm with you.
I mean, somebody's going to grow. Someone's going to emerge. We still early, but that's right now.
Rager. All right, hold on real quick. And I won't Philly to do that because I'm so sick of hearing they got the first round. Yeah, they pick bad too. I ain't studying no freaking Philly. All right, free agents, and I'm going to be quick, bro. I ain't going to bore y'all with this. We like our guys. You know I'm always told we like our guys, but I also I'm for the return of Anthony Brown to be the nickel at the right price. I wouldn't want them to rush him. I would want them to sign him. And even if he return week 2, week 3, I see him as an asset. He's one of those returning ballers I would want us to kind of still try to attack, because if he wouldn't have hurt that Achilles, Anthony Brown was going to get paid this free agency. He was going to get paid. The bastard free agent strategy, you know I'm dead serious on that. Cameron Sutton out of Pitt, I like him. Anthony Everett, he's to me perfect for the nickel. Perfect. He's perfect. I give him 3 stars. Like 3 stars should be a quality price. If y'all don't know who that is, go check it out. I'm gonna likely do a film breakdown on him just before we get into free agency, because I really feel like he'll be a good fit and a good bargain. Trey Flowers out of Cincinnati, I'd give him 3 stars, but I think he's somebody to kind of sniff. Lonnie Johnson. Lonnie Johnson was drafted to the Texans. He was also a favorite guy of mine coming, you know, when he was drafted. So I'm looking at him kind of like a 30 visit guy. He's somebody that I never forgot about. He was somebody that I always thought could have been a steal. The Texans actually converted him from corner to safety. It shows his versatility, that he has the feet of a corner, but he has the heart to play safety, and he'll go out there and knock you out. I could see him also being somebody that can kind of help with the lack of speed that's on the back end that we have with Hooker, right? I think he'll give us better range. Dan Cruikshank is another guy that was a 30 visit guy. I would call my 30 visit guy, because he was somebody that I was high on in the Boss Cowboy Guide. He was in my first book, Dan Cruikshank. He ran a 4.3. He plays corner and safety. I think one of the things with him is he's always been in places to where they got a lot of talent. So it's almost like playing under Witten. You can be one of the best tight ends in the world, but if Witten in front of you, you're not playing, you know. And he was with the Titans. So you know the Titans, they always have a strong secondary from corner all the way to safety. I think he was in deep rooms, which will make him a value guy. And I think it was something hopefully we sniff at, because he also going to have a lower price with a lot of upside, a lot of speed. And I love this college tape at Arizona. Y'all go check him out. Sidney Jones. So I actually know Sidney Jones. I met Sidney Jones. He trains with a guy here called Real Truth. I watched his tape. He was in the Boss Cowboy Guide last year. He's made, y'all remember Sidney, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Sidney.
Yeah, because I remember they was hyping him when he got drafted by Philly.
Right. He was getting hyped. But ever since he had that Achilles, he sucked at Philly. True. Let's keep it real. He was But since then, he's been playing real good. I've been watching him close, and I'm not saying that because I know him. You know what I mean? I'm saying that because I watched him, and then also I watched him also grow personally, because I watched him train in the summer, and I can see a hunger in him that I didn't see originally in him, and I think he could be a value guy that we can get in here for peanuts, and he would be a Marshalls because he was a former great. Fabian Moreau, playing for the Giants, y'all know who that is.
That's a good one. I was thinking that's a good pick. That's a good one, boss.
Yeah, because I'm thinking of Nichols. Yeah. You feel me? I'm thinking of Nichols.
He would have been a good nickel.
You know what I'm saying? He 4'3" guy, played good for the Giants. And he's somebody that's also gonna have a value price, but he has freakish speed. So in my free agent list, I like these guys. I think these guys could really come help the Cowboys, and it fits, in my opinion, Stephen Jones' cheapness. So that's my list when I'm looking at my free agents and my draft, so we can get into the final words. Law, I'm gonna start with you, sis. You know how it go, man. We want to make sure that robot.
No doubt, man. Hey, everybody, as long as we continue to do this, man, the more and more information we gain together, and I've learned a lot today, and I hope that you guys took notes that's watching in the audience, and know that none of these guys are finished products, that everybody is going to be better than what they were in college, and better than what they were yesterday or what have you. So it's all about, building upon each other and being 1% better each day, so that you can be in the right spots and places for the season and when it kick off. That's my thoughts, man. That's my final word. Let's go, Cowboys.
3, 2, 1, drop it.
And remember, you're listening to nothing but the best.
Those grills drop it hard.
Let's go.
It's time to
Yeah, so my final word, man, we probably kicked off this show around 8 o'clock, 8:30, and it's almost 11 o'clock, so almost 3 hours full of content.
12 here.
12, you know what I'm saying? But it's like,
Are you serious?
He ain't always going to
12.
But what I was going to say, and on the positive, it shows the power of what we're doing right now. Film, breakdown, analytics, free agency, and honestly, we could keep rocking if it was like a Friday night, right? So it's like, I just want to thank y'all, man. This is the most fun I've had covering the draft. It's a blast, man. It's really put me in my zone. I'm locked in each and every week. I hope y'all who are watching the channels are enjoying it, but it's really bringing out the best of me, because I want to bring things up to a higher level, because I know y'all going to bring it. Yeah. And it's just all lifting our community, what it's all about. So I know a lot of people were talking about the video that they saw. At the end of the day, these people I'm on this panel with, and these people who are up still watching this show right now, is who I do all this for, man. So I appreciate each and every one of you. And that's my final word.
Man, that's a good one. That's a real good one. I go next on the final word. I'm going to echo what Tuck said. This group brings the best out of me. This group is also competition. It's a healthy competition. No, it's no way that we not going to take this serious. We all know that we independent, but we also know that the healthy competition is where we are all taking it serious in terms of our list. We do not talk. The only time I get their list is the day of, and then we compile it and we talk about it. I also love the fact, to Tuck's point, to where we really combining our talents to really debate some of this stuff out. The Zeke stuff, even though we having fun with it, is real. It is real. But I love the spirit of these guys, because it's never crybabies. Nobody angry after the debate. We laughing as we talking this stuff through. So hopefully y'all seeing the value of the Final Word Draft Show. It's going to get better and better. Me and Tuck talked about it. We said it was going to take about 3 weeks to hit his groove. We right now at week 3. So, man, my final word is y'all continue to stay with the Final Word. I know it's the best draft show, and it's going to get even better. We are building also up to draft week. This is the place you're going to want to be. This is the place you're going to want to be. This combining of the channels. You want to be here because, first of all, we going to have television access. Jay Tuck is going to be giving us access out there. So as we doing what we doing and guys being drafted, we gonna be able to stop and pause and view people on the podium with Jay Tuck. That's amazing. That's dope. You know what I mean? So, and then obviously we stockpiling all this film from all these shows. You know what I mean? So when people get drafted, we gonna be able to educate people that's new to this. You know what I mean? On people we've talked about before. So I'm super excited about what's going on. That's my final word.
Yeah, guys. So listen, here's the exciting part about this whole draft season. This is where, in my opinion, the Dallas Cowboys really shine. In between this time and training camp,
Facts.
it's the strongest thing that the Cowboys do. We're the best at drafting. So if you guys want to know the latest, the greatest, the possible picks, man, you guys just want to stay with us. And also, don't forget to follow every single channel: J Tuck, DMV, Law Nation, Big Game James, and obviously Boss Cowboy Sports, man. So, hey, sharing is caring. Liking makes everything right. And, hey, comment if you care. All right. So that helps us grow and push the movement forward. That's my final word.
DMD.
What's up, man? First and foremost, I want to thank you, gentlemen, for having me on here. It's an absolute honor. Like you talked about, keeping the craft tight. Being with you gentlemen every Thursday and talking through these prospects has had me, go into depth and have crazy notes on each and every one of these guys that we kind of talk about, to the point that I'm just able to regurgitate it like without nothing. But I have on good faith too that inside the building, just like everybody else, a lot of content creators are watching what we're doing. People are going to write articles, but inside that building, they are watching what we're doing.
Facts.
So I not only do I have the honor of sharing the platform with you guys, but we're doing something so groundbreaking that we might even be able to influence that draft inside the building. And we're all about, as a group, making the Cowboys better. So
Facts.
I feel great about that.
Love
Appreciate y'all for tuning in, and we're going to keep it coming.
Let's get it. Big, you last.
Oh, man. Well, hey, I appreciate all y'all. Won't be long. I just want to appreciate all the guys that just to echo everybody. I'm not trying to just piggyback, but just to echo the realness of it is it really makes you be on point with your stuff. And I think that's what I like about this more than anything else is that, before I've done drafts, and yes, I always studied, but I feel like this has made me study even harder.
Yep.
This makes me
too.
look at my stuff even more because I don't want to come in. I'm gonna keep it real. I don't want to come in slacking.
Yeah.
I don't want to come in looking bad. You feel me? I don't want to look like the one that looking bad. Like, damn, that's all you got, dog. I don't want to look like that. So that's, you feel me? So that's put me all on my toe. You know what I mean? I don't want to be that guy.
That's real.
So I really appreciate that because I feel like I'm coming against some guys that are really knowledgeable in this game, really know what they're talking about. So it really makes you step your game up, and that's what I really like about this more than anything else. And then when you got all of our collective minds together, just like Boston was saying, I think this is groundbreaking because of the panel. We have 6 guys on here that are putting in work. And so when you guys are listening to this, you're hearing all kind of views, and we're going in depth. I mean, we went totally in depth on all these positions. And by the time we're done with all these positions, man, I think this is going to be great for the community. And just that, like DMV said, people are ghost watching all the time. And they see the passion that we have, and hopefully that we can continue to make waves. So like I said, we can make a difference in these streets. And I think this show right here is going to show and prove that as it continues to grow.
What we doing next? What we doing next?
Defensive ends. I said that, man.
I know, but man, when you one vote, I'm trying to see. Can y'all want to?
So we gonna do just the edge rushes only?
Or do we put it together? Edges and DTs. Do we put them together?
That's gonna be long.
That's gonna be a little bit tougher, I would think.
Okay,
edge rushers only, man.
Let's go edges. Edges.
Yeah,
we'll leave it at edges, which is also outside linebackers too. We go put both of them. At least we'll put those together: outside linebackers and edges. All right. Man, I can't wait to do the offensive line. That's the one I can't wait. I can't wait to.
I can't wait till that. I'm just gonna listen to OC and take all his stuff.
Yes, indeed. Hey guys, next week I'll be on vacation, so I won't be here. But I will still send you a list. I'll still send you a list.
And we'll communicate your list. We did that for the OC last week, so we'll do that for you this week. Also, y'all keep law in your prayers. I'm gonna just say that to you. Y'all keep law in your prayers, okay?
Yes, sir.
That's just
yes, sir.
He got some things. Let's just be praying for the homie. But man, that was the final word. We would never do 3 hours again. We not talking about Zeke no more. We
Better
never,
not.
Man, we
Better not.
Zeke took 2 hours by
Better
itself.
not. You made that happen.
No, that was Law, bro. Law
That was you.
No,
You
that was
wanted the
Law,
smoke,
bro.
boss.
It was.
You wanted the
I
smoke.
see my girl was over here giving me the side eye the whole time. Like, damn, y'all still talking?
I've been really in the field, let her rush, I let her feel.
I see you ladies turn the lights off.
Turn them off. Just say goodnight. The party's over.
And if it was up to me, if it was up to little old me,
boy,
they
I
could
saw
pick.
that, baby. I ain't doing 3 hours no
Go
more,
a
bro.
little
I had no
something
idea
like
we went 3 hours.
And
Long
with the 17th pick of the 2020
Man.
Dallas Cowboys NFL draft.
Hey, and if anybody was putting
The
in
Dallas
super
Cowboys
chats, I
select
couldn't see it. I'm just letting y'all know I
CD
couldn't see
Lamb.
it. We'll do better with that. But that was the final word, man. We thank y'all for rocking with us, man. Real talk. Yoga Flames all day.
Yoga fire.
Flames.
Dracarys.
Down, but the Cowboys historically don't.
Boss could be a trade down here with Justin. That's it. We got to trade. We got to trade. We got to trade.
I said this the place to move.
We were just sitting here talking Justin Fields.
I said it loud and clear. This is the place to move down.
Go hard, or go home. Go hard, go hard, or go home. Go hard, or go home. Go hard, or go home. Touchdown like the end zone. When the circle turn to my home, can't get me out of my
Yoga
zone.
fire.
Go hard, or go home. Go
Yoga fire. Yoga flame.
Rush defensive end, right? If you draft him and you put him on the end, turn him into another.
That was
DeMarcus
legendary.
Ware. Let him rush the quarterback, get upfield, and create damage
Yeah.
to the other opposing offense.
OC said that before anybody.
Yeah, this gotta be Parsons.
That was dope.
Parsons the best player available.
Other people said it, but I'm just saying. It was impressive that he said that on draft night.
In my head,
That
I'm
was
top
impressive.
10, yeah, that's hands down. You a squad, now you're looking man down. Funny how foes turn to friends now.
So the Cowboys just selected Jake Ferguson with pick 129. Hey, I'm good. I love the pick. I love the player. I know that a lot of people will say that this is probably a reach. This is about where I had Jake
Hey,
Ferguson.
this boy gonna be
Really
nasty.
solid player.
I
Watch.
agree.
Wisconsin.
I was just thinking,
He
DMV,
can
that this
do all of it.
video
He can
gonna
block,
be dope.
He can run routes.
Next year,
he can actually make
people gonna be like,
miss
damn,
over
DMV
field.
was on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, they gonna be like, damn, DMV was on. Yup. We just gotta see him play, and then I think it's gonna go crazy with him.
Go hard, or go home.
Go hard, or go home.
Go hard, or go home. Go hard, or go home. Touchdown like the end zone. When the circle turn to my home, can't get me out of my zone. Go hard, or go home. Go hard, or go home.
Go home.